Demons high.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. to protect your soul.
Hello all and welcome back to another live stream. And in today's live stream we are back on to Microsoft Flight Simulator and we are going to be doing a flight in this EasyJet A320 from Edinburgh, as you can see there, down to London Luton. So please take your seats and enjoy the flight. So first of all, why the hell is there no game audio? That would be useful. Okay, there we go, the game was just muted. Okay, so we're in here. Ignore the fact that there's a British Airways EFB cover page, just what I set it to. Haven't been on Flight Sim in about a week, so we'll see how this plays out. Hopefully it'll work, and yeah. So we're not exactly scheduled to plan, but we'll just ignore the times. Did cancel my Navigraph subscription, so we are going to be running without Navigraph today. We'll see how it works. I'll definitely end up buying it again though. You just can't live without it. I just thought, well, this month I'm not going to be using it much, so I cancelled it. But today we've got some time, so we thought we'd jump on for a flight. So I already filed with SimBrief, so we're going to import the data there. So there we go, Echo Golf Papa Hotel to Echo Golf Golf Whiskey, which is Edinburgh to Luton. So should we get the aircraft powered up first of all? External power on, batteries on, ADIRU, IRS, left side, right side, center. Those are in the nav position now. Next thing is to reduce the game audio. Jesus. There we go. So the aircraft is now coming to life. We're going to get the emergency exit lights to armed, no smoking to auto, cruise supply on, ground control on. And that, I think, is it, apart from Navilogo lights, the one position to let everyone know that we are working on this aircraft. So that's the things we've done first. First thing, I'm just going to double check that I've got the Airbus profile for my flight stick. And I should do, there we go, all set correctly. All good. So, let's hope everything plays ball. And for some reason, my throttles are a bit, yeah, I don't know why they're like that. Question mark. A320 pilot. No idea. But we'll leave that for now, I suppose. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Sim settings. No. Config. Controls. Max reverse. Next step. Idle reverse. It's pretty much there. Idle. There. Climb. There. Flex. There. Toga. There. Store calibration. I guess we'll see how that works. I mean, it seems to have done something, so that's a good sign. So let's get straight into the flight plan. So we'll go to do menu, ATSU, AOC menu, flight init data request. Hopefully it all links up correctly, because of course we're technically on an outdated Air app without the Navigraph subscription. So I do hope it plays ball with us today. Okay, there we go. So it's worked fine, no errors there. I think the next thing I'm going to do is get GSX to board the aircraft. Request boarding. Swiss port will do. Jetway connects like so. Got a Qatar there, A350. Yeah, Ini builds A350. That should be coming out soon. Can't wait for that one. Alright. So let's hope everything's done correctly. Yeah, we've got the baggage there. We're gonna have to open all the doors and things because we haven't let GSX integrate with the Phoenix today. No thank you for the tug. No thank you for the crew. Doors for cargo, AFT cargo. Those should open and they should start loading the baggage. So that should be all good. So init page, init data request. There we go. So that's our flight plan. Flight number today, we're going to be easy.
This way, please.
92 Victor Whiskey. Sorry, I just had to double check that. Cost index. Let's see what the cost index is going to be today.
Hello. This way, please.
So cost index is gonna be, let's go to our OFP. I'm sorry, I'm taking a bit of pauses. I'm kind of double checking the stream's alright. Haven't done it in a while. Cost index of 43. That is incredibly high for this aircraft. But you know,
Good afternoon.
flight level for cruise is 350. 350.
Welcome on board.
Minus 60 degrees up there. Very cold.
This
Next
way,
thing is gonna be winds requested in the FMC or MCTU, which is the Airbus variant.
Hello.
Next thing, well, ground temperature 15 degrees. Is that true? 15 degrees. I refuse to believe that. No, it's 3 degrees down in
Good
Edinburgh.
afternoon.
Makes sense, it's fully north of the UK.
Hello.
What is the QNH? 1019. So we'll input 1019er into there and there, and even into here. Commonly forgotten this one. Next thing is going to be the flight plan. So for our SID today, we are going to be looking at review the flight plan. Going to be looking at the Goza 1 Delta departure out of runway 6.
May I see your boarding pass?
Goza 1 Delta out of 6. Insert.
Boarding pass, please.
Check that there's no crazy discontinuities until Luton. Yeah, it's just till Luton, which is fine. We can solve that later. Got about an hour's flight time, so there's no need to worry about that just yet. Got 165 passengers on board today. Got a heavy plane in general.
This way, please.
I don't want to be hearing that actually. I forgot about the music Phoenix plays. It's a bit annoying.
Hello.
If you're trying to speak.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. So, I'm just trying to think what could we do next, because we're sort of just waiting for the boarding and IRS to align at this point. So,
Hello.
I've got nothing to brief either, so I suppose
This way, please.
we'd set ourselves a squawk 1000 in there. Get the
Welcome
TCAST
aboard.
on, put it on TA only.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not forgetting anything, we're just kind of waiting for the boarding till we can
Hello?
proceed further. A Ryanair over there, taxiing to the gate. Here at plane starting their APU up. Yeah, so see there, runway 06, because we have GSX, we got the little screen there. Chocks are on, you know. It's a nice feature of GSX actually. You don't actually even have to look at your flight plan. In real life you would. Yeah. But we're not going to go into the real life stuff. We could brief a departure performance, so sync load sheet, sync live weather, calculate V1137, V rotate 137, sounds about right. 140 for the V2. Flap retraction, full V142, slap retraction at 192, clean flaps at 216. Sounds alright to me. Flaps 1 today, down of a trim of 0.5, sounds fine. Transition altitude would be 6,000 out of Edinburgh, which is correct. Amount of times I've flown out of Edinburgh definitely is correct. Flex to temp is 64 for the flex, because we're not going to need a toga out of Edinburgh. Thrust reduction, that would be 1,500, not 1,610, so we can correct that, but that's all good. Generally it's pretty accurate, so that's all good. Airport elevation of 110. The only way of confirming that is by looking at charts, unfortunately. Which we don't have today, so I'm going to have to live with that one. Generally we're going to check out on the here, because the irises have aligned, if the flight plan or nav matches up. Just quick go through it. Yeah, that's absolutely fine to me. All good. So I'm just going to wait now, I think. Suppose. Yeah, I've got the cabin off, so we don't see any seats. Just waiting for the boarding now, so sit back, relax, listening to the tunes, I suppose. That's some Lufthansa taking off. Boarding has completed. So what we can do now is get the APU on. APU master switch, wait 3 seconds. Wait 3 seconds and then we can get the start switch on. That'll start the APU. We've just got to wait now. Get seatbelt signs on ready. Beacons to on. And we just need to wait for that APU really now. We can, however, proceed further in the do stage of things. We go to fuel predicament. We can just import this data down really. Mass and balance, load aircraft, instant, just loaded it with GSX, send that down to the MCDU. That'll populate the fuel predicament page. And then we've got the perf page to do, which you don't have to do now, but we can do it now. You're just going to wait now for that APU to start up. And by the looks of it, it's positively starting by the APU PFD here. Eight minutes behind schedule currently. It's all good though. Oh, there we go. GSX.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
It's all good. GSX and Phoenix are now integrating together. We can get the fuel pumps on
Hello,
ready.
Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Get APU bleed on. External power's already been disconnected. Performance page. We'll send that down automatically. Save ourselves a bit of stress.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Company message. Receive messages. Load sheet. Accept. Turn. Load sheet. Accept. Turn. All good. Been trialing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and trust me, it's a pain. It's just not stable. It really is not stable. It's got a VRAM leak, which doesn't help things.
Locking gear.
Although I may have found a solution to making it a little more stable, but you do have to make a few sacrifices. Which personally I don't mind doing, but then again I'd rather just fly in this simulator unless I want to fly one of their aircraft which is made by Builds, which isn't available in this sim, like the A321neo and the A330. Don't think anything else really is significant to that sim. But yeah. So by the looks of it, we probably need to shut the doors. Yeah, put that one to shut. Alright, so we're ready for a pushback, so we need to make sure we're all good for that. We've got our transponder on. Thrusts are in idle position. Lights are on. Fuel pumps are on. Yeah, I think we're ready. So if we're taking off from runway 06, we're taking off from... I'm going to assume it's from this side over here. So... No, it's not. This is an interesting one actually. We don't normally depart from the runway 06. But I suppose we are today. So we're going to go nose to the right today.
Release parking brakes.
Release parking brakes.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
So we can't start the engines. That's all good. Get a lovely another EasyJet over there. Should get some cabin announcements, but not sure if that has already have taken place. You never know with Phoenix. You never know. It's very quiet and boring without set intentions. It's not very nice. It's just silence. Are we going to get a cabin announcement from Phoenix? Lighten the mood? Well, at least we've got the lovely Pirigi Edinburgh to look at. The Jet 2 737 over there. Should be about done with that pushback now.
Set parking brakes.
Brake set. Seeing as the brakes are set, we can start the engines technically now. So I'm going to start engine 1 first.
Unlocking gear.
Should see them positively start. The APU bleed pressure is going in there, so that is a good sign. The engine is now starting. The numbers are rising. Yep, and we're on
Tow
the
truck
rise.
disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
That is a small ass tug.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Yeah, there we go. Engines should be starting. See? Oh, there we go. Got the cabin announcement now. Should really do it in the pushback, I think. But doesn't matter really, does it? There's the engine. I am going to turn this on. You should be able to hear the cabin announcement.
Pay attention to illuminated
There we go.
signs
Yeah.
and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The
Engine
safety
2
found in
should
your
be
seat
available now.
pocket contains
we'll
important
start engine
information
2.
about exit routes, oxygen masks.
Do
life
let me
jackets,
know if the
and
audio
brace
is a bit
position that you must adopt if
off,
you hear
because
brace.
I haven't streamed in a while.
There are 8 emergency exits
But it's
on
quite
this
loud for
aircraft.
me, so
The cabin
I don't
crew
know.
are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware
Set
that your
6,000
nearest
initially.
usable exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board.
Right.
Your seatbelt is fastened,
Cool.
adjusted, and released as shown.
Max auto brake can come on.
And when the seatbelt signs are on, we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply
Flaps
fails,
one.
masks will drop
Spoilers
from above
armed.
you. Pull a mask towards you to
Engine
start
normal
the
mode
oxygen.
since the engine 2 is available.
Put the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally.
Down
Hold the mask in place with the strap.
0.5.
Pull on each side to adjust. Put
Is
on
set.
your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take
Predictive
a life
wind
jacket
shear
from under your seat.
on. Or weather
Remove
radar
from the
even,
pouch and
if you
put
want
it
to be
over your
realistic
head.
with it.
Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust.
Right, cool. APU bleed
Do
can come
not
off, APU
inflate
can
it
come off.
inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate it by pulling the toggle.
Cool.
If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into this tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. The cabin crew can assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. Further information regarding your safety on board can be found
Brakes off.
in the in-flight magazine. We
We're
hope
going to
you
start.
have a great flight.
No, we need some initial power to get moving today. It's all good, just depends on the weight of the aircraft. Get a little bit of power there. We're going to be going into a little right turn here, so no need to go too fast. Start that turn nice and easy. Going to go into a left turn immediately. Come on, left turn please, thank you. Runway 06 is over here, so we're going to head over there. I'm not used to taking off from this way, but I have done it before. Probably hear my stupid drink noise there. Apologise. Let's get a bit of power. Not too bad on the winds today, it's just a bit cold and miserable. So that's good to know. I've got a sandwich to eat whilst we're flying, so I'll eat that with the mic turned off because I don't want you to hear me munching. It's bad enough me drinking, never mind me munching. So cabin needs to be checked, get the oil, and that's all we need to do really. We needed taxi lights on, forgot about those. Yeah. It's annoying when you don't have two pilots because you are bound to forget things, especially when you're on, you're on a simulator. It doesn't actually matter what you do. You taxi a bit quicker. No restrictions. There we go. Cabin is checked. I'm definitely going to get sane tensions again. Definitely is a must-have if you don't want to use VATSIM and you want some cabin crew. Definitely worth it. This simulator is much more stable than 2024 though. I don't feel there was ever any need for a 2024. This is more than adequate, stable, and it looks amazing. 2024 looks horrible because it can't hold enough storage in the cloud, and the performance is terrible as well, and that's just because of its stupid issues it has. Now I do admit it does take a bit of time for a game to become stable, but God, that game is atrocious. Simulator, actually. Simulator. Sorry, I apologise. Simulator. Alright, so here we are. Gonna brake a bit harshly there. It's all good. Wing lights can come on. Runway takeoff lights, runway turn-offs, landing lights on. Strobes, auto, enter the runway. And let's get out of here. Let's head down to London. You can't really say it's going to be much better in weather, but hopefully it'll be a little better. Welcome into the stream, Nebula. Hope all is well. Let's go. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Better stop to put the transponder on properly. Takeoff config tested. Just quickly check the flight controls. All good. Full left, full right. There we go. Let's go. 50%. And flex set. Man flex SRS runway auto thrust blue. Chrono on. 80 knots. Checked. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Nav. Pitch down a bit, just to get a bit of speed. Lever climb, thrust climb. No need for too steep of a climb. We've got a restriction of 6,000 until the GOSAM fix. Might as well focus on getting that speed up. However, ground spoilers can be disarmed. Going to be making a slight left turn in a moment. Over till the Golf Oscar Whiskey 3-5 fix. Slightly turn into the left here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your
Flaps
seatbelt
can be
fastened while the
retracted.
seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
Pitching up.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. All details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Phoenix, my flights. There we go. Checking. Altitude constraint, 6,000. Just leave the autopilot to do that for us. 350 can be bugged up once we come out of the restriction. Landing lights can come off, runway turn-offs and nose lights can come off. Strobes can come off, wing lights can come off, nav and logos go to 2. Beacons stay on, seatbelt signs stay on, no smoke lights stay on. Actually no, we keep the strobes on, just so we don't get the stupid message. Transition is 6,000, so we will have to go to standard pressure once we get climbing again. But there's no rush for that because we have a restriction until GOSAM, which, if we look in here, Golf, Oscar, Sierra, Alpha, Mike. We have 25.1 miles until that fix, so yeah, so no need to go crazy with that air pressure just yet. Just through a load of thick cloud though. Yeah, cool. Ooh, bit of lag there. There's a lovely wing view of Edinburgh. over the cloud. The good old wing flex. Bit windy, but not too bad down in Edinburgh today. Just chilly. They're not in the minuses. About 3 degrees down there. So it's not too bad. However, in Luton, what is the weather down there? 4 degrees in Luton, so it's literally just a 1 degree increase from Scotland. So, it's not much better there. Just as bad. Get a lovely engine view there. That wind is really pushing that wing out. Cool. Optimum flight level of 360. I'm going to stay at 350. I mean, we're staying in the UK. I mean, there's no reason to go too high. It's only an hour's flight as well, so there's no rush at all. No rush. There's our aircraft though. Beautiful EasyJet. No sharklets today. Didn't decide to put any on. Just didn't decide to be honest. Yeah. Just relax and enjoy the flight. I think I'm going to shut up for a bit until I reach climb again. So enjoy the views. Alright, so I return. And yeah, we need to go into standard now. Should have done that a long time ago, but yeah. Just climbing up to cruise now. Through the GOZAM restriction of 6,000. So at this point, we can just let the passengers out their seats. Ding that. Get the flight control off. So engines minus 12 degrees. Not really fussed about it though. Suppose you could put a bit of anti-ice on. But yeah, it's not insanely required, but it could help us a bit. Certainly for preservation in reducing the chance of failure of the engines. So you can see there we've got climbing green, out blue because we're climbing. Alt will be the flight level 350. See, flight level 350, which is our climb, our cruise, is inputted in there with the little dot, means it's being managed by the aircraft with the autopilot. So it's using the VNAV component of the Airbus, which means that the vertical navigation, which of course means speeds. All speed is controlled by the VNAV component of an Airbus aircraft. The only differences between an Airbus and a Boeing is the fact that the Boeing, it has LNAV and VNAV separate autopilot systems, whereas the Airbus it's all integrated, like you can't control the LNAV and VNAV directly. But what you can do is use the knobs. Say I wanted to select a certain speed of 300 knots exactly. I pull this knob out, let's select 300 knots. That's not using any VNAV or anything. That's just using your MCP, as it will be called, to control the speed. But if you wanted to use the VNAV component, you just push the knob in. It'll come up with lines and then a dot, and that means the aircraft is controlling the speed at which the aircraft flies at. Another component to know about is LNAV, which is lateral navigation, which essentially means the flight plan route. If you're using LNAV component, you are following the line essentially. In the Airbus it's a green line, and in the Boeing it's usually a purple line, and you're basically following that line to all the fixes on your route. And it even includes your SIDs and your stars, so your standard instrument departures and your standard terminal arrival routes. If you have the heading in managed mode, that means LNAV is engaged. However, if you pull that heading and fly to a specific heading, you'll find that in the Airbus the line goes dotted instead of solid, and now you're controlling the heading of the aircraft. So if I wanted to make the heading to 175 degrees, I go to 175 degrees and the aircraft is going to make a turn. But what this is going to do is it's going to take you off your flight plan route. The only reason you do this is to get separation from other aircraft, or maybe it's a shortcut from air traffic control. Air traffic control would always give you these instructions, and you'd fly to the heading you desired. At this point we are not using the lateral navigation component of the autopilot, we're using manual heading mode as it's called. But we don't need to do that because we're not on air traffic control at the moment, so what we can do is just push that in. Actually no, we can't. No we can. We push it in and it'll basically get you back onto your flight plan route. However, it won't. The reason being, you see it's got the dot there, but it's still at 175 degrees of heading. See that the green line is no longer dotted, it's a solid green line. So to make sure we go back to that route, you'll find in the FMC it actually says no nav intercept, or the McDo, apologies. No nav intercept in orange. Getting my colours mixed up there. So essentially what you need to do is go direct to a waypoint. Air traffic control will usually say direct to a waypoint, or they'll say go back to your flight plan route. At that point you just go to the nearest waypoint. In my case it's going to be Bebney because we've actually gone past Nabso. So I'm going to go direct to Bebney, and then you'll find that the 175 degrees of heading has actually gone off, and we've just got 3 sort of dotted lines and then a circle, a solid circle. That essentially means that we're back on the flight plan route and it's working correctly. Now, a common thing to note is you don't always get the 3 dotted lines, and that's where people can get mixed up if they're not knowledged enough on the aircraft. Essentially, if you've got a dot, it means it's armed. So when the aircraft is ready to initiate that instruction, it'll comply to it. But if there's no 3 dotted lines, it means that the aircraft isn't going to do anything. Like, it means it needs some sort of manual interception from you. So in that case that I just showed you, I had to just go direct to a waypoint to get the plane back onto the flight plan route. I had to give the plane a nudge on where to go. I had to direct the aircraft because the aircraft didn't know. Sometimes the aircraft knows automatically where it needs to go, but most of the time it doesn't. Fortunately, it's just how smart the autopilot is, but it's just how it works. Now, another thing to note is the fact that you'll find that on the altitude you don't actually have those 3 dotted lines. That's just because, I mean, there's no reason to have 3 dotted lines. Like, where would you put the dotted lines? Because with headings you've got to select a heading and then tell the aircraft to go to that heading, whereas the speed in the heading is being the altitude you've got to select because you need to tell the plane what altitude to go at. Therefore there's no room for the 3 dotted lines, if that makes any sense at all. It's very confusing, I'll admit, but when you get your head around it, it's very simple. So essentially, the speed in the heading and even the vertical speed sort of work in the same way. Speed and heading you find are the same. That's because the aircraft can just go to the optimum speed it can. And then the heading is just the heading of the flight plan route to all your different fixes. The aircraft will automatically work that out for you. It's smart like that. Heading, you've got the push it in for the managed mode, and the dot will come up if it's in managed mode. If there's no dot there at all, it means you're sort of controlling the speed, or the aircraft doesn't really know what to climb at. I mean, it's very rare you'd use that mode, so I wouldn't worry about that mode, especially if you're just a flight simmer. But to going to OP climb, which essentially means you're going to be climbing at the fastest rate possible with keeping the speed at a stable speed. That didn't make much sense at all, did it? But essentially you'd pull it to do that, and you find that OP climb comes up here. You'll get a little white box over it for a split second or so, and you'll find that the aircraft is just going to climb at a steady rate, but it's not going to be like managed. Just basically the fastest rate possible, essentially. Another way you can climb, you can put it back into managed mode, and then you see climb comes back on the PFD screen. Another thing you can do is do vertical speed, which is where you manually control the rate of climb or descent. Just simply pull it out and say I want to go at 900 feet per minute plus 900. There you go. It's going to climb at 900 feet per minute, no more, no less, because that's what you told the aircraft to do. It won't take into account the speed or the heading or the altitude. It will just take into account that vertical speed you have put. It'll only go at 900 foot per minute no matter what. If the plane becomes unstable in the speed, it will come unstable. It's not going to control it for you. And that's because you've chosen to control that heading. So, if you don't know how to control the aircraft speed very well, then I recommend you do not use vertical speed unless you absolutely have to. And with vertical speed, you also have to do a bit of maths and saying what's the best rate I can go at. So, majority of the time, just simply push that knob on the altitude button in, and it'll just manage it for you. It's usually the easiest, simplest way to do it. I recommend that for any beginner learning any aircraft. Just go into manage mode. It's the easiest thing you can do. Don't make it hard for yourself. Learn the hard bits later. Learn to get to grips with the aircraft first. Right, anyway, that's a little explanation of the autopilot systems, which may or may not have made any sense to you. But either way, I've done it now. I'm going to shut up now, so don't worry. Enjoy. Alright, so we're still climbing. It says that our top of climb would be a bunny exactly. That's crazy. Another thing to note is that blue arrow is the climb. That's when it thinks you're going to reach the altitude selected in the panel there in the MCP. With 4,000 kilograms of fuel currently, 63.8 tons of gross weight. That's the whole weight of the plane combined. Cool. 25 minutes in the air. Got a bit at the top of descent. I think what I'll do though is I'll input the star, because it might help with the top of descent planning for the autopilot. So according to SimBrief, we have the list to 1 November into ILS 07. List to 1 November. Insert. Check that there's no crazy discontinuities, which there is. So we'll double check that in the plan mode. And we'll head back to the flight plan. Head back to where we are. And we'll head through the flight plan and check where that discontinuity is. So it's at Zagzo. So it's basically just going from the star to the ILS, which is quite commonly done. So we'll just clear the discontinuity simply, like so. Insert. And that should bring us to... yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine. No problems now. Cool. Great. Let's get a lovely wing view. And how long is it till top of descent and the bloody thing's frozen? Yeah. It's never a sim crash, it's just a little freeze in the sim, which is better than sim crash, but still annoying. So according to this, we'll have 3 tons of fuel on board when we land. Sorry, struggling to get me words out. Yeah. So it's good to know. Yeah, that's loud. That looks loud, so I'm going to mute my mic for a second. Alright, so Outstar, because we have reached cruising altitude now, exactly a bunny as it actually completely accurately identified for us. Well done, Phoenix. So we've got a company message apparently. I'm going to assume it's something to do with ADC, but you never know. It's always worth checking. Receive messages, easy ops, no ADC required. Assume so. I'm going to get the performance page up on the Captain's McDo. I'm going to start inputting some data ready, just so we're all prepped for arrival and we're not rushing when we get there. We can always change it out if needed. So the QNH is 1018 in hectopascals, down in Luton. Temperature today is 4 degrees, with highs of 8. Barometric minima, we will need to look.
Traffic.
I don't see anyone, so yeah, stop lying. I need to find the chart. 715 for the ILS minimums. Oh, there it is. There he is. Is he at the same altitude or is he lower? Because I do not see him on the nearby. So it implies that he's lower or higher, and he's not going to affect us. So, well, there he is. There he is, whizzing along. British Airways A320 by the looks of it, and he's nowhere near us to hit us. So, false warning. So 715, of course, we got distracted there. 715 for the minima. There we go, in there nicely. Winds 140 at 5 knots. 140/05. Not far off, but not accurate. Transition is 6,500 feet, so interesting. Final approach speed 138 knots. Sounds about right. Flaps can be full, not config 3. No need for config 3. And yeah, so that's all set. Just sort of waiting for the top of drop now. I mean, how far are we from Luton? Progress, Echo Golf Whiskey. 128.4 miles for the generic Luton Airport. And for the runway, it will be, so we're landing on runway 07 today, 126.7 miles, so a couple of miles more. It's all good. Yeah, I think we'll get onto some wing views and we'll just relax until top of descent. Good point. Where is top of descent? I forgot to check that completely. At Pedig. So how far is Pedig? Papa Echo Delta India Golf. 51.3 miles till top of descent. A bit before then, but it's about right. About right. So wing views for 50 miles, I think. Don't know what wing views to use. Like, there's only cloud to see. If you want me to change it, feel free to let me know. And I'll be right back. turn here. Don't want to miss our top of descent, so I'm going to have to be very cautious with the wing view. Hopefully we'll be all good. I mean, I can't say we've gone 50 miles yet. Oh no, we are very close though, so I think what I'll do is I'll get the altitude inputted in, but I won't of course activate the altitude. So altitude for the ILS I believe is 2,000 feet. So I'll put 2,000 in. That'll be interception altitude. And yeah, we'll get that bugged in ready. We just activate it when we need. Probably need medium auto brake for Luton, but we can double check in arrival performance. METAR landing weight about 63 tons, I'd say. Yeah, definitely can't use low. Use medium. Medium's fine. Can't use low for sure, so medium it is. Just checking that progress page. 20 miles to Pedig, so it's going to be about 15 to the top of descent, I think. Thinking about it, Luton. I'm thinking of all the London airports. I have not been to Gatwick in ages in the simulator. It doesn't run too bad now that I've got frame gen, so yeah. I did steer away from it before, but that was more because of stupid performance issues. Here we go. We're about at that top of descent that we are on 80. Yeah. We'll initiate the descent now. And we'll check it out. Performance should be all inputted, so it hasn't given us a warning, and it would have by now, so I'm going to assume that's all good. Secondary flight plan. Do we need it? Do we need it? No, we don't really. It's got a hold in there already. Welcome into the stream, Pip. Hope all is well. According to this, speeds and altitudes are all achievable by the magenta stars. Should probably get the cabin back into their seats. Still 4 degrees down there. Quite a steep descent rate, if I'm honest. I mean, we did kind of start it. Oh, there's a restriction of flight level 200 there, so that might be why. At the Rugby fix. Hopefully speeds should be fine. Don't seem to have an issue. Doesn't seem to be causing any issues.
We will shortly be landing. Please ensure your baggage and all personal belongings, including laptops, are safely stowed. Your tray table must be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open, and your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please review the safety card found in your seat pocket as it contains important safety information. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets can no longer be used.
Right. Well, seems to be reducing that descent rate, so that's good. Get the compass out. We're just off the south, which is accurate for longer. Thick layer of cloud across the whole UK, it seems. So, pretty grim weather all around, I think. But nevertheless, it's London. It's probably the warmer part of Scotland, even though it says 1 degree more. It's not really an improvement. There's another aircraft over there. There's another aircraft down there somewhere as well, I believe. I don't think they're above us, but it could be above us. Not sure how visibility is going to be down there. Hopefully not too bad. I mean, we can perform an auto land if needed. Hopefully we can do a manual landing. I think we can go direct to the Woburn fix, just to give ourselves a little bit of a shortcut. But that is a thick layer of cloud there. I suppose snow is on the way. That's probably why. Straight to Zagso even. Direct Zagso. Check that. Yeah, that should be fine. That'll give us a nice shortcut, that will. Direct Zagso. Need more drag though now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a bit of brake to assist in the descent. That speed is starting to come down nicely there. See that spoiler there. See a bit of land there though, so that's nice. Gives me a bit of reassurance, I suppose. Lovely. Yeah, I think that spoiler did help us a lot in that drag, so I'm glad I did that. although it is a bit too much now, so I think I'm gonna retract them fully and see how the aircraft reacts. Yeah. So flight level 80 at Zagso. Plane seems like it's going to meet it, so we'll trust it. It's all magenta, so looks like it can. "45 minutes off the ground at Edinburgh. I wonder if we can arrive early, because the flight time is meant to be about 1 hour and 10, I think. So maybe we can make up some time by landing early. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I want to get some landing lights on now, though. Nose lights, when we turn off, swing lights, strobes, all good. Lights on, ready for arrival. We're coming through that thick layer of cloud now. Oh dear God. Considering I could see some land back there, I do sorely think we won't have to do an auto land. The conditions aren't bad, it's just the fact that there's thick layers of cloud, it's just unfortunate. Considering the oh, it's gone to 250 knots now, because I think there's a restriction, isn't there? That is a good point. I'm going to assist the plane with that speed by bringing it a bit of spoiler. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually manage the speed to 220 knots. Just to keep us stable. We've got no restrictions because there's no air traffic control on, so we can do what we like. There's no one around us either, so 220 knots will be fine. But we really do need to start descending, so I'm going to get a bit of descent on vertical speed now, because the aircraft doesn't seem to be doing it itself. I'm going to get flaps 1 out though, just to help in the drag. If we want to meet that restriction, I think I need a bit more drag as well, so I need more vertical speed. I just need to make sure we don't go past 230 knots, because that's where flaps 1 is no longer adequate. We're not far off the restrictions, so we should make it with 1900 foot per minute of vertical speed.
Cabin crew must now be seated for landing. Thank you.
Hold in the cabin. There we go. Right. .5 miles to the runway. think it was 1018, wasn't it? Barometric pressure. Welcome into the stream, Nicholas. Hope all is well. Gonna go down to 200 knots now. I'll stick the landing system on. Getting a bit dark now we're in this cloud, we can't see a thing. So I do bloody well hope that by the time we get onto the ILS we can see the runway. We can see things anyway. Yeah, I'm going to get it down to 185 knots and I'm going to get flaps 2 out. This is fun. Well, I can see land there out of the wing view. So hopefully we'll be able to see something. I do believe, I hope 2,000 feet is the correct altitude, because I'm running without charts. I'm using my knowledge. I ran out of a Navigraph subscription recently. So yeah, speed brake is still out. We should really arm that. We don't need it anymore. Fair point. Keeping it at 185 knots though. I'm just going to double check that that is the right QNH. Yeah, it is. Still 4 degrees with lows of 2 down in Luton. Great. Literally can't see a thing, so I'm going to get a screenshot here. Crazy. Oh, I can see a bit of land down there. That is a good sign. Just about through the cloud. See land out of the wing view there. See some out of this wing view as well, so that is promising. Though visibility is still very much reduced. So that is something to note. Do have an aircraft there, but it looks like they're coming out of our vicinity, to be honest. I mean, they could be landing in Stansted, or they could be climbing out of Luton. I'm not sure. Looks like they're climbing though, so they shouldn't affect us. I think what I'm going to do is get flaps 3 out though, and I'm going to get 175 knots bugged up. Cool. Look at that. Coming out of the clouds gradually. Currently at 53 minutes 30 seconds on the flight time from the runway, and at 1 hour and 3 on the block time. Yeah, looks like about 2,000 for the ILS. I was hoping it should be, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? Yes, it is a runway 7. So we should be good. We should have accurate data for this arrival. An arm localizer. speed down to 170 knots. Got a few aircraft around us now. Hopefully they won't affect us. Yeah, it looks like it's 2,000 feet, so we should be good. On the approach mode entirely, I think. And get 160 knots down. In fact, I'm just going to put it in managed mode now. No. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. We're off. We're off. Plane doesn't know what it's doing. Performance, activate approach phase. Don't know why that wasn't activated in the first place. What the heck is this runway? It's raining like you don't know what. Flaps full. This. Ooh, looks like we might have 2 aircraft on final. This is FSLTL, by the way, so there's nothing I can do about separation. You just hope that they don't affect us. In fact, for the arrival, I'm just going to turn FSLTL off. Help us out. Gear down. Don't think we need an auto land. I can see land clearly, so I'm sure we can see the runway when we get to it. Localizer should establish soon. Glide slope is coming alive slowly. See that diamond. Localizer about to arm. Engage even. Glide slope and localizer engaged. Let's land this plane into Luton. Looks like it could be a bit of snow actually. Like it's like freezing rain. So looks like we could be due snow down in London. Trying to find the runway now though. Can't land until we see it. Is it going to be an auto land or is it not? Oh, I see a runway. I see a runway. I see a runway. Panic over. Panic over. Panic over. Simmer down. Simmer down. There's the runway. Just wait till we're at. Let's land this thing. Get the last few wing views. Go. Pilot off, my plane. Cat 1, manual land. Pitch up. Ever so slightly. Pitch down, pitch down, pitch down. Haven't landed in Luton in ages. I will not lie. Keeping it coming. Keeping it coming. Bring it down, bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. This has gone terribly wrong. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down.
40, 30, 20, retard.
Retard, flare. Slam it. Auto brake. Versus. God, that was horrible. That was horrible. That's what a week of off flight simming does to you. Even 2 weeks. That was horrible. But nevertheless, we landed. Horrible though. Horrible. Need to get the wipers on really. That annoying noise. God, yeah, need auto brake off, thank you very much. Oh, that's a horrible noise. That is a horrible noise. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is just atrocious. I'm not having
Ladies
you
and
listen to
gentlemen,
that.
the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties.
That was
However,
horrible.
we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign
Landed it, though.
has been switched off.
Horrible though.
Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls, or internet access can't be used.
Yeah, that
Please
was
make
just,
sure that you
yeah.
take all your personal belongings with you,
I'm not
checking
happy
in the
with
seat
that,
pocket,
but you know.
underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew
Give
will
it some
help you
power.
complete your EasyJet journey.
Give it
For the
some
latest
power.
news, promotions, flight and
Stop
destination
recording.
information, check
There we
out our official Facebook page,
Replay
Twitter,
is
or
set.
EasyJet app.
Landing systems can come off. APU can come on. 1, 2, 3. Start. There we go. Find a gate to park at. I have no idea where, so I don't know. Let's go. Stand 5. No. There we go. Well, we landed legally in the touchdown zone, but it was very hard, shall we say. But I suppose we are EasyJet, budget airline, so you know, you can't expect the best service. So yeah, we landed safely, but hard. The rudder, keep over there. Thank you. Not very nice town in Luton, but hell, we're here. It's better in Edinburgh, I'm afraid to say. It's 1 degree more, but it's raining, so it's probably no better. Bit of a bump there. Bit of a taxi to the stand here. It's just round the corner though. EasyJet hangar there. Bring it round. Bring it round. power. Definitely need to smoothen this terrain out. Anyways, where's stand 5? That's stand 1. That should be stand 2. Yep. I'm assuming it goes in order. Stand 3. Stand 4. I'm assuming where the stairs are is stand 5, which is where we're going. Stand 5. Yeah, there we go. Stand 5. Slowly bring her in. Start to make that turn. Slow it down a little just so we can accurately park this. It's got no power on its own though, so I have to give it some power. God. Come on. Power up. Power up. Get moving. Come on, power up. You can do it. Get moving. It's far too heavy. It's far too heavy. Alright, I'll take that. That's good enough for me. So, get the engines off. Get the lights off. The navs to 1. Put it in the cabin. Seatbelt signs off. The smokes to auto. Ground control on. Excellent power can come on, fuel pumps can come off. Yeah, I suppose we can get the APU off now as well, because we've got external power. So, that should be deboarding. There we go, stairs are connecting. Luton's own stairs. And there we are. Chewy hanger there, the Monarch hanger there, got the EasyJet hanger there. Now we wait for passengers to deboard. So that was interesting to say the least.
Goodbye.
Oh,
I've got a replay though, so I'll be able to watch it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, your portable electronic devices must not be used until you are inside the airport. When disembarking, please take care and hold on to the handrails while walking down the stairs. Please ensure that you supervise your children, and for your own safety, do not walk underneath the wing.
There we go. Grim, but we made it. Passengers are starting to disembark. Just turn that down a little. There we are. For some reason the doors are closed. But, you know, it's doing its thing, so can't say much. So, get some shots, and we'll get a replay going. Oh, yeah, there we go, that'll do. Oh, look at you. I want a screenshot, so, yeah, thank you. That was cool. I think what I'll do now though is restart Luton. And I'm going to get panel state to the ready, activate. And let's get the replay going. So ground services, cargo doors can be closed. Thank you. Landing lights can come back on. Nose lights can come back on. Nav and logos, 2 wing lights, beacon lights, strip lights. Seatbelt signs back on. Gas spoilers armed, flaps to full. It's just time for the replay. Hoping those engines are started fine. We should be fine to go now. Let's reset that chrono, of course. So an hour and 15 on the block time, an hour and 10 on the flight time there. So not too bad. Time for a replay though. Replay. Cool. Or break medium. Let's see how we did. Check the spoilers are armed there. Cool. I want to see how hard this actually was from the outside view. You definitely see it's quite windy with that wing flex though. So it wasn't an easy landing to do in the first place. Apparently that was a 371 foot per minute landing as well. So let's see how we did. Bit floaty. Ooh. A slight bounce, but nevertheless it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as it felt, I think. Did have a bounce though, which does sort of significantly change things. But generally I didn't find it too bad. You know, take of that what you will, but personally I didn't think that was too bad. Yeah. Look, I mean, we did float it, and that's probably why we bounced. So, but center line was great. The actual landing itself wasn't too bad. It was only 371 foot per minute, which isn't smooth, but also isn't insanely hard. You know, it's completely in the safe margins. Just the fact that we had the bounce. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, you could argue on that, but I personally am not saying that was too bad, considering I took a week break, and yeah, cool. I think that's all there is to it. So I'm going to leave you with a replay whilst we end the stream. So hopefully everyone has enjoyed it, and if you have, then I am greatly much appreciated. Thanks to everyone who has liked the stream. Thanks for any new subscriptions we have had. I believe we did have 1 new subscription, so big thanks for that. Yeah, so I'll leave you the replay. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a good rest of your day / evening, and I'll see you in the next one. So, bye guys. So, let's get the replay going. Get it going. Yeah, and I'm going to get some music on in the replay. Peace.
the edge.